Today we're going to cover some brief maintenance tips on the K family dozers, which would include the D3, D4, D5, and D6K size machines. One of the things we always want to look at on a dozer is the cutting edge. You'll notice on this particular blade we have our Cat Performance cutting edges. These edges have additional wear material on the bottom of the edge and also a groove along the bottom and top. The purpose of these grooves is to identify wear indicator so the operator or customer will know when they need to replace the edges. When the wear reaches the edge of the groove, it's time to flip or rotate, replace the edge. One of the great things on the K family dozers as far as maintenance is that most of it can be done from ground level. One of the things the operator always will want to do is be sure that proper lubrication is done on the pin joints on the dozer linkage. Those points are identified by the Zerk fittings at each joint. There are 6 on a standard tractor. If the machine is equipped with a power pitch attachment, there is an additional 2. Next area we want to inspect is inside the engine enclosure. Here we could check our engine oil level, add oil if we need to, visually inspect our water separator bowl to be sure there's not any water present there. Additionally, we do have a sensor located at the bottom of this bowl to alert the operator inside the cab if water is present. Also, we can inspect our coolant level tank, which is in the top of the under the hood. If after checking the coolant level you determine you need to add more fluid, simply reach underneath the hood, unlatch the access door on the top, and you can add the coolant from the top of the hood. Periodically, you'll want to remove the primary air filter and inspect it and or clean it. To do so, simply remove these red tabs, flip them up, disengage the link. There's 4 of these. Then there's a handy lever handle to pull the support out. Next, we'll just want to slide the primary filter towards the rear, drop it straight down, get it out in the light to where we can see if there's any damage or seals that are broken. And then this type filter can be cleaned up to 3 times. The important thing to remember when cleaning one of these new high performance filters is be sure you blow the pressurized air from the clean side inside the filter outward to the dirty side. At the 500-hour engine oil change interval, you'll want to remove the engine filter. That can be done very easily by removing this cover plate. No tools required. And the filter is located right in this area. On the left rear access door, we have the ability to check our air filter for our cab air. It can be removed as needed by lifting these 2 tabs. Also, our wiper fluid is located here in this tank. It can be added as needed. Also, on the inside of the door, very handily, we have a decal which lists out the intervals for the different areas of the machine service. One of the things on a dozer that makes it unique is the track or the undercarriage system. And this represents a significant amount of the owning and operating cost on a dozer. So it pays for the operator and customer to be sure we maintain it properly. One of the things every day we want to look at is be sure we have the right amount of track tension, meaning how much sag do we have between the front idler back to the carrier roller. Please look at that and then reference your O&M manual to be sure you have the proper amount of sag and measure it appropriately. If it needs to be adjusted, you can simply remove this cover in this area and add grease to tighten or remove grease to loosen and provide more track sag. Additionally, we always want to be sure we keep the undercarriage system clean of dirt as much as we can. Most of the time this is done at the end of the day. One of the most important items to have on a dozer is a shovel as far as maintenance goes. Be sure your operator has access to a shovel and knows that he should use it. Be sure to clean the material out on top of the track roller frame, in front of the sprocket, all the way up to the front idler. On the rear of the machine, we have access to several things. First being our DEF fluid. To the left of the fill point, we have a handy decal that lets us know how much fluid we generally have in the compartment based on the gauge inside the cab. So you can look at the gauge inside the cab, come back to your decal and know how much fluid you need to add in this area right here, which is labeled blue. Next, beside it, we have our fuel add. In the middle of the machine, we have a gauge for hydraulic oil fill. We use one tank for both our implement and drivetrain hydraulic oil, which is located in this tank, one single point to check as far as hydraulic oil level. If we need to add any hydraulic oil, we would add it at this fill port right here. And then as an option, if the machine is ordered such, we have a backup camber which is available. On the right rear side of the machine, we have access to our 2 maintenance-free batteries. These batteries do not require any service or adding any fluid to them. Maintenance-free, we just want to check and be sure we don't have any visual leaks. Also, just double check our cables to be sure they're tight. To the rear of the batteries, we have the hydraulic oil filter located right here. And then lastly, we have our power disconnect switch located right here. Beside it, there's an amber light you will notice. When the amber light is on, the system is still under power. You'll just need to wait until the amber light goes off before you turn the disconnect switch to the off position. To wrap up, we've talked about several things for proper machine maintenance. These are things the operator can do that really help reduce machine operating cost. Always remember to consult your operation and maintenance manual for details. For additional information, contact your local Cat dealer.